it would be me, and my camera's trying to focus on me. It's a good camera. It's made by Sony. I've got a more expensive camera. I've not even used it yet, and it's got all kinds of fancy doodads this one doesn't have, but I bought this one from a friend of mine named Samantha Williams that had a pawn shop in Davis, Oklahoma. They're now in Sulphur, Oklahoma. And I just love it. I mean, it's not the best camera in the world. The other one I got, I could record and go right to YouTube. It just send it to it. I'm not really wanting to do that. And this is my fancy Stetson hat that I've got on today. I've had a couple of folks ask me, why do you wear those funny hats? Well, in Ireland, in England, they call them a peaked flat cap, but I like them because they're far more comfortable than a baseball cap. This one is actually quite expensive for a cap. I think I paid like 60 bucks for it. It has silk on the inside and a really nice interior hat band, and it rests comfortably on my head, and that's what I like about it. It's not pretty as far as looking good and spiffy and all that, but it is my cap. It's my second favorite cap I've got. My favorite one cap I've got, I have no idea where it went. I have my wife's version of it hanging on a wall in my bedroom. Now I got to get a sip, and I'm going to discuss some things that will probably offend some of you. Okay, what I'm going to discuss is stupidity. Today, and I just got through broadcasting the podcast, in Fort Collins, Colorado, MAGA folks and Antifa folks had a really bad fight in a ditch. The MAGA, M-A-G-A, Make America Great Again folks were staging an event, Back the Blue, in other words, supporting police. Antifa showed up. I don't know who threw the first punch. I didn't watch the whole video, but you can go to Drudge Report, and it has a red headline about it, and see it for yourself. And in that video, I think it was a MAGA person took the American flag and tried to stab one of the Antifa people with it. That is stupidity, folks. It breaks my heart that our country has come to this. You have far-right individuals proclaiming, well, wearing a mask is against my constitutional rights. Well, if you wear clothes and don't walk around naked in public because you're required to dress appropriately in public, that violates your rights. My wife, prior to me doing this, was telling me about a video. Italy, they had, there was a video of a little girl. I don't remember what country she said this happened in, but they put their school back in session, and one little girl was a super spreader, and they put school in session. Boatloads of children, like 150 children that first day, got infected. They sanitized the school, reopened it, and had to immediately reclose it. I'm telling you right now, there is no way in the world America can open their public schools and not have problems with COVID-19. It is not the flu. That is the hardest thing for some people to understand. In yesterday's video, I made mention it is a chimera. It is lab developed. It is a biological weapon. And I suspect real soon part 2 of that's going to be our enemies are going to launch chemical weapons, if not more biological weapons. I'm going to explain one big difference between H1N1 and COVID-19. H1N1, mostly elderly, didn't get it. What? No, they didn't. They'd already been through life and had acquired bunches of immunities due to just living. And younger kids and young folks didn't have those immunities, especially these days when rather than being outside playing in the dirt and running around outside in sunshine and enjoying nature, most of today's children spend their time inside glued to a video game or online, but they're not getting the interaction with nature they need to develop immunities. And that is a problem, because what happens when they get sick, they have no natural defenses against it. And let me tell you something about constantly dumping antibiotics into your system. It will diminish your immune system. It does. But H1N1, after you recover from it, you recover. You don't, unless you develop pneumonia and all you have is the actual flu, you do not have sustained lung damage. You do not have sustained heart damage. You do not have your hair fall out. Now, COVID-19, all of those things I just mentioned, that happens. And that brings me, I've had people inquire about what I call my cheat sheets. This is a piece of paper. It originally looks like that. And I write down statistics on it for my radio program, my podcast, both sides, and that way I can refer back and see how much has changed. And I do this each and every day. Why? Because I do have people that listen to my broadcasts, and they message me. I've had people ask me to keep them informed. They don't have access to some of the data that I have. And I'm not important, folks. I'm a little old short fat guy from southern Oklahoma that is old and crippled. I just happen to have been in my younger life really well connected. I mean, all over the place. I'm kind of like that joke Bubba, and he goes to the St. Peter's Basilica, and he's up on the balcony, and one Chinese or Japanese tourist nudges the other one. You know, Bubba's up there with the Pope, and he asks the other Japanese gentleman, "Who's that guy with a pointy hat that's standing next to Bubba?" Well, I'm kind of like Bubba. I know everybody. It's just how it turned out in my life. I didn't intentionally go out of my way to meet people. You know, in today's radio program, I quoted a late friend of mine, and he was a good friend. I'd known him for a long time. His name was Michael Wayne Smotherman. He died last year. If you don't know who he is, Google him or use Bing, and it'll bring up songs he had written. The boy had written over 500 songs. Michael, I've had friends accuse him and tell me, "You were friends with that retard? He was an extreme liberal." No, folks, he was not an extreme liberal. Michael Smotherman was probably one of a handful of geniuses I have known and ran around with. And the reality of it is, Michael, he was fiscally liberal. He'd help anybody that needed help. But the other thing is that he absolutely did not suffer fools. He just didn't. And one of the quotes he had, I can't remember if we were sitting at a restaurant or if it was Just a second, my son Brandon walked in. I just shook my head. No, don't turn the computer in. I'm recording a vlog. When I'm done, then you can come in and do your thing on the computer. The thing about Michael, and like I said, I'd known him since we were kids, literally. Well, young men anyway. Mike had a penchant for words. He was a superb musician, superb songwriter, superb lyricist. Probably could have been a novelist. I encouraged him many times. He'd write these little vignettes about a fake detective, and I think he called them Love and Lust at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. And I wish somebody had collected those and put a book together. I would make a way to have it published. He was an astounding man. But the quote he made one time, we were sitting, I think it was on Skype. I'm not real sure. The old synapses are not firing like they should. But he made the comment, you know, Tuck, it seems like the mean they're just getting meaner every day, and the good are getting gooder every day, and the stupid are getting stupider every day. Now, he knew that it would be stupid and more stupid, good and more good. He wasn't an idiot. Like I said, he was very well read, very well educated, and a superb individual. I cherish the fact that he and I were friends. I've actually had people accuse me of not knowing the people I say I know. Anybody I tell you I know. Michael was one of them. As a matter of fact, I gave my friend Jerry a photograph of him sitting at a table, of Michael sitting at a table shooting one of my rifles, and Jerry back behind him with his fingers in his ears. It was years ago. Fun was had by everybody, you know. But anyway, the point of this video is you need to really be cautious. I've been castigated for wearing a mask, being afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm certainly not afraid of dying. I don't like pain. I wouldn't want to strangle to death. But I'm not stupid either. I wear a mask when I'm in public. I hand sanitize when I'm in public. I try to limit my contact with other people outside of my family and close friends. And I encourage my friends and family to do the same. I had a talk with my brother, younger brother, yesterday afternoon, and he pretty much mirrored my exact sentiments. And his family, immediate family, is having a hard time with the isolationism and social distancing. It's hard on everybody. And folks, before I close this video down, you need to understand something. It is going to get worse. It is. It's all there in the Bible. All you got to do is look it up. Yesterday I told you what books to look in. Today I'm just going to tell you, start reading that thing. It's good for you. And Jesus is the king of this world. The only way there is ever going to be, just a second, the only way there will ever be a one world government with peace and plenty is when God comes back and takes over and institutes his policies. I love you, God bless you, and bye-bye.